to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power.
And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
They both hit hard. Because and you can see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith discuss what could happen if Canelo Alvarez faces Terence Crawford. Stephen A. thinks Crawford could win on points, but he also urges caution. He brings up a warning from Gervonta Davis, who said Crawford might be in trouble if he tries to go toe-to-toe too often, because Canelo is naturally bigger and hits harder. Stephen A. says Crawford can't rely on trading punches. Instead, he believes Crawford needs to use smart defense, quickness, and his boxing smarts to outmaneuver Canelo. In the end, both analysts agree, the winner will be the one with the better strategy, not just the stronger punch.
Greatness. And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight.
Max Kellerman points out that Terence Crawford seems to have the sharper overall skill set, giving him an edge when it comes to technique. At the same time, he acknowledges Canelo Alvarez's strong chin and naturally bigger build, which gives Canelo the upper hand in physical strength during exchanges. However, Max also notes that Canelo hasn't looked quite as sharp in his recent fights. He's still solid, but not as dominant as he once was. This matchup, he says, comes down to Crawford's timing and precision versus Canelo's toughness and size. It's a true test of skill against strength.
Great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guay.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov.
Antonio Tarver, former champion and well-known boxing analyst, is backing Terence Crawford, but he's not downplaying the challenge. Tarver says Crawford has shown his greatness by winning across multiple weight classes. Still, he believes this fight is a whole new test. In his view, it's not just the toughest fight of Crawford's career, it's also a kind of challenge Canelo Alvarez hasn't really faced before.
Take, I'm Bud County all the way, but this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which on September 13th.
Antonio, I appreciate your time. Safe travels back home.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio.
Timothy Bradley Jr., known for his strong fight IQ, expects the first round between Canelo and Crawford to be cautious and calculated. He predicts that neither fighter will take big risks early on. Instead, both will use the opening moments to study each other, watching for movement, timing, and potential openings. Bradley explains that Crawford is especially patient at the start of major fights. He likes to see what his opponent brings before setting traps. Canelo is similar. He often uses the first round to figure out distance and make adjustments as the fight goes on. Because of this, Bradley says fans shouldn't expect fireworks right away. The first round will be more of a strategic feel-out than a fast-paced exchange.
First, Crawford wants to feel his punching power as well. In the beginning, it's all the position balance. Like both guys are trying to get balance and trying to find their rhythm. Understanding their distance to where they can punch and at the same time avoid getting hit. It takes Crawford a little bit more time than I would say Canelo to get right to it. Canelo, although he is a prolific counterpuncher, fantastic counterpuncher, he tends to find his spots a lot quicker. And the indication of that is if you look at any of the boxers that Canelo has faced, Trout, even Danny Jacobs, even when he fought against Charlo, you just check out the first round. He usually takes off, just feels the power, cruises, see what these guys know, couple of feints, level changes, gathering information, right? Crawford does the same and similar things. So I think the first round is going to be a real calm and cautious round by both fighters. But in the second round, Canelo's going to start applying that pressure, man. Pre-engagement with Crawford is a little bit more difficult than a Charlo, okay? And let me explain this. So pre-engagement is the movements before you get into that sweet spot, which is mid-range, to be able to let your hands go, right? Both guys are trying to counter each other's movement. Both guys are looking at each other's, hands, trying to anticipate what they believe is going to come next.
Amir Khan, who's fought both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, brings a unique viewpoint to this matchup. He praises Crawford as one of the greats, especially at welterweight, and says his legacy is already secure in his natural weight class. However, Khan also issues a warning: weight classes exist for a reason. Moving up to face a naturally bigger, stronger fighter like Canelo is risky. In Khan's view, Crawford didn't need to take this fight, but he understands why he did. It's a bold move, one meant to quiet any remaining doubters and chase a level of greatness few fighters ever reach. Still, Khan doesn't sugarcoat it. He says Crawford's skills are elite, but taking on someone as powerful as Canelo is a serious gamble. It could either take Crawford's legacy to the next level, or come at a high cost.
And we did all the build-up, we're nothing but respectful. Yeah. I just feel that, in boxing, weight divisions are made there they make him for a purpose. And I highly respect and say pound for pound, the best fighter is Crawford by far, and beats anyone. But when you start putting weight on and you go up a weight and you fight these guys like Canelo, even though Canelo might be now getting a little bit older and it might be slowing down a little bit, but he's still going to be very dangerous. That punch power, you're still going to get tagged, you're still going to get hit. You're going to have to spar heavier guys to get ready for that anyway, so you're going to be taking a lot of wear and tear anyway. You're going to have to adding a few pounds on. Does he need to put that pressure on himself? He's done what no one's ever done before. 2-time undisputed world champion. So why not just enjoy it? But obviously you want to go for that next challenge. Now for him, he wants to go for that Canelo. I would advise him not to go for that. Yeah. But if he's the man and he knows how good he is himself. So I can't really say to him that do this or do that. So really,
he believes in his skills. He feels
he believes in his skill. Yeah. We can't answer for him. Yeah. We let him go and do it. You know what I'm saying? And we all might be wrong. Yeah. He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well. That he might do really well in there. So look,
you fought them both. What are the differences between them? Obviously, it's weight.
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard. Yeah. Because and you can see the strength. When I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, but why does he need to give that much weight? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?